Now on Fox 56 News at 10, we honor the legacy of former EKU head coach Roy Kidd and the impact his life had on the people of Eastern Kentucky.
Plus, an update from Churchill Downs, what investigators have discovered after 12 horses died there over the summer.
Plus, the battle of growth versus preservation continues as Lexington leaders decide how to handle future development.
Live from Lexington, our home, your news. This is Fox 56 News at 10.
Good evening. It's been a somber day for many in Richmond as the city mourns the passing of Eastern Kentucky football coach Roy Kidd.
Coach Kidd touched the hearts of many in Eastern Kentucky and across the state. Tonight we're joined by sports anchor Michael Epps. Michael, can you shed some light as to why Coach Kidd is going to be remembered as such a pillar of the community?
Yeah, of course, guys. Of course, as a football coach or a player, you're going to be loved by winning games, right? Of course, that'll be natural for the fan base, but to reach his level as an absolute icon is just a different level to a community touch. I was at an EKU football scrimmage last month during fall camp, and it was alumni day. Former players and coaches came by to have a dinner with the team, and Coach Kidd showed up. Everybody knows when Coach Kidd arrives, and they sang Cabin on the Hill, which is their victory song, right by his statue at the stadium that bears his name. You could just feel how significant it was being in the presence of such a legend.
Like, I love this game. And Coach loves this game.
A love for the game and a love for his community.
I'm really honored to have known him, the impact of my life.
Roy Kidd spent what felt like a lifetime at Eastern Kentucky, coaching for 39 years, winning 2 national championships in FCS football.
Over the years, phenomenal. He was consistent, well-liked, fair man. His three, I always said his 3 values were family, football, and Eastern.
Current head coach Walt Wells was on Roy Kidd's coaching staff for 6 years. Today, mourning the loss of his mentor.
How much he meant to EKU, to Madison County, to Richmond, you know, to me, to my family, and to the state of Kentucky football.
Induction into the College Football Hall of Fame, fitting for Coach Kidd, but perhaps just as meaningful for him, being the first member of the Madison County Sports Hall of Fame established last year.
Oh, great. And it tickled me to death to see this because Madison County needs something like this.
A Corbin native, a star quarterback at EKU, a coach at Madison Central and Madison Model high schools. If he didn't get stopped at the grocery store before, he certainly did after the football stadium was named after him in 1990.
Oh, we saw your name on the stadium, you know. Said, we didn't know you was really the Roy Kidd on that stadium. So they said, you own that? And I said, not really.
Coach Roy Kidd leaves behind a stadium and a statue and a legacy unmatched here in Kentucky. He owns most of the wins there, that's for sure. An absolute legend. And I had the pleasure of meeting him last year at the Madison County Hall of Fame, as you saw there. Now, hearing Coach Wells talk about him after the game Saturday here in Lexington was heartbreaking. You just know how much of an impact he's had on Coach Wells for sure. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the Kidd family and the entire EKU community. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Michael. And condolences are pouring in from across the state following news of Coach Kidd's passing.
EKU football released a statement earlier today saying, quote, it would be impossible to express everything Coach Kidd has meant to Eastern Kentucky University. He embodied the passion, purpose, and pride that our program strives for every day. Our program owes everything to his leadership and tireless work ethic.
Governor Andy Beshear is honoring the EKU icon as well. He released a statement on Coach Kidd today saying, quote, his awards will leave a lasting legacy, but he will also be remembered for his impact on the students and the way he coached and supported them. My prayers are with the Kidd family and all of EKU as we mourn this loss.
Coach Kidd's visitation will be Sunday from 4 to 7 at the EKU Center for the Arts. Services will be held Monday at 11, followed by a private burial at the Richmond Cemetery.
And in lieu of flowers, the family is asking that donations be made to the Roy and Sue Kidd Endowed Scholarship at EKU.
Turning over to the weather for us here today, temperatures have been cooler because we've had mostly cloudy skies and some scattered rain. We're getting some rain again here through downtown Lexington as another little broken band of showers moves in. It's causing things to get wet once more. That band falling apart as it moves across northern parts of the state. Can't rule out some more spotty rain, some mist, some fog as we head through the rest of this evening and into early parts of tomorrow morning. That cold front's going to continue to work through. Temps have fallen into the 60s for us now, and they're going to continue to fall into the low 60s for us overnight tonight, expecting to get right around there. That isolated shower moves through, falling humidity into tomorrow, and then we're going to see better temperatures and more sunshine on the other side. I have details on that in full coming up in that full forecast.
Thank you, Justin. New tonight, investigators released their full report into 12 horse deaths at Churchill Downs over the summer. Unfortunately, it appears to be more of the same. The Horse Racing Safety and Integrity Authority says it's still unclear why the deaths occurred, and there is, quote, no causal relationship between the racetrack at Churchill Downs and the equine fatalities. Industry leaders still recognize the need for change to minimize injuries and root out abuse involving medication and training methods. HISA has issued a series of mandates and recommendations and intends to create a blue ribbon committee to study and introduce synthetic surfaces at tracks in the future.
Also new tonight, we have an update on Louisville police officer Brandon Haley, who was shot last week during a traffic stop. The officer's family says he continues to recover. He has been off the ventilator since Saturday and can now stand with some help. The officer was shot during a traffic stop last Thursday. He was pulling someone over but was shot from a home nearby. They say he's been recovering day by day and is showing more of his humor now. The family of Officer Caleb Conley is creating a new nonprofit in his honor. The Scott County deputy was shot and killed during a traffic stop back in May. The new Caleb Conley Foundation will support families of first responders who are hurt or killed in the line of duty in Kentucky. The website has multiple clothing options available along with a donation tag.
A Kentucky teenager is dead after falling from a moving vehicle in Harrison County. Kentucky State Police say 18-year-old Jaden Beeman was killed on US 27 just north of Cynthiana last week. Another 18-year-old was driving when Beeman fell from the moving pickup truck. The teen was rushed to UK Hospital where he died. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help pay for funeral arrangements. The investigation into the incident is ongoing. Lincoln County will now have a dedicated resource officer at every school in the district. The school board voted unanimously to amend its contract with Stanford Police to add 3 more officers, bringing their total to 7. In a release, the district says the move will cost about $320,000 a year. The decision comes after several parents raised safety concerns when it was discovered that an elementary student had brought a handgun to school last month.
New tonight, the Kentucky Community and Technical College system is one step closer to announcing its next president. Kentucky Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles is one of the 3 finalists for the role. The announcement comes after Quarles' unsuccessful run for governor earlier this year. The other finalists are Dean McCurdy, the provost and senior vice president of Academy Affairs at Ivy Tech Community College in Indiana, and Beverly Walker Grafea, the president of Mott Community College in Flint, Michigan. School leaders say the chosen candidate will start the job no later than January 1st. Chief Justice of Kentucky Lawrence Van Meter will not seek re-election in 2024. Van Meter's career spans nearly 30 years. During that time, he served at all 4 levels of Kentucky's judiciary as a Fayette District Judge, Fayette Circuit Judge, Court of Appeals Judge, and Supreme Court Justice. Van Meter announced the news today saying, quote, "The time is right for me to begin a new chapter and turn the reins over to someone else."
Lexington leaders are still trying to determine how to deal with the city's growing pains. Earlier this summer, the Urban County Council voted 10-3 to expand the urban services boundary into existing farmland, but it's still not certain how much land will be opened up for development.
Tonight, the public got another opportunity to weigh in. As Vasi Prokos reports, there's no shortage of opinions in the battle between growth and preservation.
Tonight, dozens of community members came out to express their opinion on where and how many acres the Planning Committee should approve in the urban service area.
Where development goes, farming dies.
Planning Commission members say they will consider public input when they draw up expansion maps in the coming weeks. An earlier vote allows for expanding the urban service area by at least 2,700 acres and as much as 5,000 acres. Nicole Hudson of Brookfield Farm says once precious land is developed, there's no coming back from it, and there's no more to be had.
When you develop an area, you do a lot more than just throw up some buildings or move in a few more people, and the impact is far more detrimental to agriculture and the surrounding environment than developers would want you to realize.
Commerce Lexington President Bob Quick says the top concern he hears from local employees are a need for land for their businesses, a need for workers, and affordable housing for the workforce.
Let me be clear. No one in the business community wants to destroy what makes Lexington special. Our iconic horse industry is important, and we support efforts to protect this land, and we always have. We will also support infill and redevelopment policies to create housing and jobs.
Those against widespread expansion say there needs to be a more specific growth plan, stating exactly what type of housing will go in the new areas and how much it will cost to add roads, water, and sewer lines.
We urge you to recommend no more than the minimum acreage for expansion at this time so that the Lexington community may put a data-driven process in place and let that guide future discussion about expansion.
Next Tuesday, the committee will present a recommended map for expansion and plans to have a final plan in place on September 26th. In Lexington, Vasi Prokos, Fox 56 News.
Another stall is now empty at the Kentucky Horse Park.
Coming up, how the park is trying to find new horses to live in its Hall of Champions after losing one of their own.
The first 10